their last home game of the season. It's probably I'm not defensive about it.
Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another transfer video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash up the like, subscribe if you're new around here. All of that good stuff. And as always, leave your thoughts in the comments. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing that man, Xavi Simons. Yes, that's right, because Chelsea have begun talks with the camp of Xavi Simons with a view to a potential transfer. Now, this is a developing story this afternoon. First, from Florian Plettenberg with the big update that Chelsea have a serious interest in Xavi Simons. Understand talks between club and players camp already started. No talks between the clubs yet. Needs to be checked whether an agreement can be reached between Chelsea and the player. I suspect that won't be too much of a problem. Chelsea the most concrete option. Arsenal looking. Bayern not in the race at the moment, but are aware of the situation. Xavi wants to leave RB Leipzig. Now, we know that Simons is going to leave RB Leipzig this summer. We know his preference is to move to the Premier League. Chelsea and Arsenal are the two clubs mentioned. Now, at this stage, I would say that Chelsea are in the driver's seat to land Xavi Simons. And again, that's been further backed up by the secret scout, because the secret scout himself has confirmed it's true. He's also said that Simons would be open to a move to Chelsea. Now, this is the sort of move that excites me, that gets me feeling, you know, I don't know, that sort of excited feeling. I can't really put my head around it. But it looks, he's a sort of player that just brings you something different. You know, he'd come in, he'd play on that left-hand side. You got Gittins as your out-and-out touchline winger on the left, and you've got Xavi Simons as someone that could play as a bit more of a left inside forward. You know, if, and this is a big if, but I think we will, given how we played in the Club World Cup. But if we continue to set up how we did in the Club World Cup in the last two games, or even close to how we set up in the last two games, he would be a fantastic signing for Chelsea. You know, a player that I didn't really think was going to come this summer, maybe someone I wasn't really too fussed on. But having seen how we played in the Club World Cup, particularly in those last two games, systemically, in terms of that, he fits the bill very, very well. And if he's going to be available for somewhere in and around 50 to 55 million pounds, that is the definition of a market opportunity for someone who is a supremely talented footballer, for someone who is versatile, for someone who consistently produces good numbers in the league. You know, I think it was 25 appearances in the league last season for RB Leipzig. What was it? Eight goals, 11 assists. 10 goals, 7 assists in 25 games in the league. 17 GAs, a creative demon, versatility, really good work rate, eye for goal. You know, imagine him lining up on that left-hand side coming in. Cole Palmer in the 10, Pedro Neto on the right, João Pedro up front. You could have Esteban on the right. You could have João Pedro playing 10. You could play Cole Palmer on the right. Guys, I don't know what it is we're cooking, but it's smelling good, and the ingredients are unbelievable. The ingredients are unbelievable right now. Of course, this is it's by no means done yet, but it looks like we, at the moment, are the only team that are seriously looking at the Xavi Simons situation. I've got no doubt in my mind that if it was a straight fight between us and Arsenal, we would absolutely do it. Simons is open to joining Chelsea, as confirmed by the secret scout, represented by Ali Barat. We've obviously got close connections with Ali Barat, very close with Bedeck Barley, was involved in Madueke going to Arsenal, involved in Jackson and Caicedo coming to Chelsea. Again, I don't think it would be a difficult deal to do, given Simons wants to come to the Premier League, given Barat knows Chelsea very well. There is absolutely a deal there to be done. Absolutely a deal there to be done. I think this guy's a fabulous player. Really, really special. again, I'm not saying that I've watched loads and loads of him, but from what I have seen, he was very, very good for Leipzig in the 23-24 season. 24-25 last season, perhaps not as good. But he fits in. He definitely fits in. That left wing drifting in to the number 10 role. You know, in matches where we deploy Cucurella as the width on the left-hand side, he could also play in a 10. You know, if you like Rodgers, then you should also be a fan of Xavi Simons. Great dribbler, good in the half space. Creative demon, really good assist numbers throughout his career. The physicality and the pace of the league, I think that's something that he could absolutely adapt to. I'm by no means saying I'm an expert, but from what I've seen, the talent's there. He's a full Dutch international already. He's 22 years of age. His best years are ahead of him. He ticks the box from a Chelsea perspective in terms of age and in terms of versatility and in terms of his strengths and what he would potentially bring to the team. This just, it makes sense on so many levels. And it's the sort of signing that we should be all over. We should be all over it. But I don't know. Whether it's going to happen or not, it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be an interesting one. I mean, people might say, oh, why do you need Simons if you've got Pedro? But we need an option. We need an option on that left-hand side because right now, it's only Jamie Gittins. Nkunku will go. We know that Felix is going. We know that Madueke is gone. That left side is really only Jamie Gittins. Yes, you could play Neto there if needed, but in an ideal situation, you would have that sort of an option out there. And we saw it with Nkunku in the Club World Cup. Xavi Simons could come in and play that role in a much, much better way. It literally makes so much sense. And I'm hoping that this sort of new version of Chelsea, as it were, these directors and whatnot are going to be all over this and they're going to get this deal wrapped up. And Xavi Simons will be the player that we look to go for. You know, I think he will be that attacking signing. It's very clear that, I don't know, we know that Chelsea like Morgan Rodgers, but we've got to be really honest here. Morgan Rodgers is not exactly pushing to leave Villa. He's going to cost an absolute fortune. And I don't think Chelsea are going to be spending 60 or 70, 80, 90 million pounds, whatever it might be, to get Morgan Rodgers. Xavi Simons is attainable. He's a top quality player. He's affordable, wants to come to the Premier League, open to joining Chelsea. All those things put him ahead of a Morgan Rodgers, for example. So this is one that I expect to see developments quite quickly throughout this week. Quite quickly throughout the week. And if he's keen for the deal, there's no reason why we can't come to an agreement on personal terms. And there's no reason why we can't come to an agreement on transfer fee with Leipzig. We know Leipzig are a selling club. We've done business with them before. So it should be a bit of a foregone conclusion in my opinion. So one to keep an eye on, guys. One to absolutely keep an eye on. Xavi Simons, Chelsea in talks with the players' camp. He's open to the move. He's keen on it. Let's see what happens. Let's get to work on this because this would be a fabulous, fabulous addition. And then go and get me a left back. Go and get me Jarell Hato. Run that link up on the left-hand side, Hato and Simons, like in a Dutch national team. And then go and get me a goalkeeper. And we're done, dusted, ready for action next season. But yeah, guys, that's my thoughts on Xavi Simons. Let me know your thoughts. Smash up the like. Subscribe if you're new around here. All of that good stuff. I will catch you lot again in another one soon. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.